You are now listening to Toni On One Radio, the talk show podcast station, bringing you Toni On One Podcast with open discussions, hot topics, as well as information, daily health, as well as your news report. All information and resources are based on the opinions of the host, unless otherwise noted. This podcast may contain some quotations, images, and/or excerpts from copyrighted material. These uses fall well within the copyright doctrine of fair use. All information is intended to motivate, encourage, and inspire positive change and a healthier lifestyle. Welcome to Toni On One Podcast. This is Daily Health. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Toni On One Podcast. And today we will be getting into your daily health, where I'll be talking about extreme heat conditions and what pre-existing conditions should be addressed during that time, because the United States has been hit with a heat wave. So we're going to talk about that. And also, in the news, we'll be discussing the head of Japan's top pop agency resigning, and we're going to talk about why. So that's going to be interesting. So we're going to get off into this. Yes. So for daily health, what pre-existing medical conditions should be addressed in extreme heat conditions? Well, in the oppressive grip of extreme heat, it becomes crucial to address pre-existing medical conditions that may exacerbate by such conditions. Now, we're talking about auntie them, uncle them, papa them, grandma them, and even the kids, because some kids have pre-existing conditions as well, and especially those who have to work out there in it. So please be careful. So we're going to address those today. Now, individuals suffering from cardiovascular disease, now that's including heart disease, hypertension, or heart failure, need special attention as high temperatures can strain the heart, leading to complications. Now, respiratory conditions like asthma or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD for short, pose unique challenges due to the impact of heat on breathing capacities. Now, that's walking a fine line right there, guys. So you definitely got to be careful. And I suggest if you're going to be out there, you just got to take a walk or you got to go to the store, use an umbrella. I know normally it's just for raining, but it can protect you from the direct, UV rays. So that's always helpful. And it's going to keep you a little bit cooler too. So these individuals may experience difficulty breathing, increased coughing, or even exacerbation of symptoms. Heat-sensitive conditions such as multiple sclerosis or autonomic dysregulation disorders require careful monitoring, as elevated temperatures can trigger excessive fatigue, dizziness, or even heat intolerance. So we really got to be careful, and we really have to monitor, especially those loved ones that have a lot of issues. The ones on breathing machines, they got the little oxygen tanks, the diabetics, like those, that's hot-headed and older for their blood pressure, that's not going to mix well with this heat. So individuals with diabetes or kidney disease must pay close attention to hydration levels, as extreme heat can lead to dehydration, electrolyte imbalances, and potential kidney complications. Now, with everything else going on, we don't need the heat impacting and just stirring up trouble, because that's basically what it is. It's too hot. And lastly, individuals taking medications that can affect thermoregulation, such as certain psychiatric medications or diuretics, should be aware of the increased risk of heat-related problems and take appropriate precautions. Now, given these factors, addressing these pre-existing medical conditions becomes paramount to ensure the well-being and safety of individuals in extreme heat conditions. Now, like I said at the beginning, we've been dealing in the U.S. with a hellified heat wave. So everybody, be careful. I know everybody's looking forward to the winter. We'll deal with that when we get there. But be careful and take care of yourself in this heat, because it is nothing to play with. And that's for your daily health. News report. Current events, issues, and the headlines. All right, this is your news report. This thing is getting out of hand. Messing with the youth, it's out of hand. And at some point, it has to stop. We're dealing with alleged abuse all the way around, from teachers to celebrities. Where's it going to stop? Well, today we have another one. The head of Japan's top pop agency resigns after admitting late founders sexually abused minors for decades. Now, I'm going to start right there. I don't see how that makes sense within itself, why she's not in trouble. Like, seriously. Because when you say that, that's kind of what that is, right? So the head of Japan's top pop agency, Johnny and Associates, stepped down Thursday after admitting that her uncle, the company's late founder, had sexually abused minors for years. Following months of international scrutiny and independent investigation, Julie Kate, now, pardon me, Miss Julie, I'm probably going to butcher your name, but here we go. Julie K. Fujishima. Yeah, we're going with that. The niece of Johnny Kitagawa, and I'm going to leave that right there, announced her resignation in a news conference Thursday, saying that the company would compensate the victims of her uncle's abuse, according to the public broadcaster NHK. Okay, but see, I'm still stuck on the part of, why is she not in jail? You knew and you did nothing. How the hell is that okay? Where we do that at? So it's not just happening within the U.S. It's happening in Japan too. See, with the invention of social media, cell phones, that's damn near computers in your hand, little miniature computers. Yeah, with all of that, this stuff is bound to come out. So why are we not, when we find ourselves in a situation to where we know something's happening and do nothing? But see, this was the first time that the agency has addressed the media about the scandal. The issue was spotlighted in a BBC documentary earlier this year and received fresh attention in April after a former Star trainee came forward with allegations that he and multiple other young men were abused by Kitagawa. Now, he died in 2019 at the age of 87. So he's been doing it for years. There's quite a few victims. Now that he's dead, he doesn't have to pay for what he did. He's already gone. Now we don't know what's happened, where he went, or what he got to deal with now because of this. But here on Earth, he doesn't have to face that. But his niece, that should be some serious time. You held secrets like that. We don't do that like that. Now, Fukushima will be replaced by Norahuki. I'm not even going to try to pronounce their name, so pardon me there. One of the company's performers who began his career as a singer with the agency nearly 40 years ago. See these numbers. Now I'm curious about how many victims there is. He's been doing it for decades. Now this guy started his career there. There may be a possibility that he might have gotten touched as well. If not, then he must have not been his type, I guess. Because I do believe there's a type. Now, Thursday's announcement came just a week after the independent investigation. Pardon me, y'all. I'm getting tongue-tied today. Which was commissioned by the agency, and they released the findings. Now, after 41 people, including victims and other company employees, the expert panel concluded that Kitagawa had repeatedly committed sexual assault over a long period of time, ranging from the 1950s to the this is 2010. So from 1950s to the mid-2010s, he was fondling and defiling little boys. It's interesting how these people can get away with this. I'm confuzzled. Yes, I said fucking confuzzled on this, because I am. How does this happen? Everybody sitting on their hands being quiet, or is it everybody trying to cover their butts over there? Which one is it? Because I want to know the same for the teachers and stuff where that's happening here as well. But this makes no sense. All these years? So I'm going to keep up with this one. Now, the panel said the abuse had continued for so long in part because Johnny and Associates was a family-run business. We know that. What happens in the family stays in the family. Yeah, that's universal, I do believe. Now, meaning the founders wielded outside power and faced little accountability. Now, for instance, Mary Kitagawa, the late former president of the agency and Johnny's older sister, had known about the abuse but did not take action. Now, that's what they found in their report. Now, the investigators made a number of recommendations, such as setting up a victims' compensation program, and urged Fukushima to step down as president. See, that's another person all this time quiet. That's how this was going on. Everybody being quiet, nobody speaking up and saying anything, and these little boys is getting fandangled. That's not okay. We got to stop that. Now, during his long career, Kitagawa headed Japan's biggest talent agency and was known for setting up popular boy bands and launching the music and acting careers of many teen idols. He was a powerful figure in the media and entertainment industry for decades. So yeah, he wielded that power. It was abuse of power. He was drunk off power. He was high off power. He thought it was okay for him to do whatever it was he wanted to do, and he wanted to play in little boys' booties. So that's what he did for years. And his family, knowing and did nothing, every last one of them should be in trouble. I'm going to have to look up definitely the laws. Or if y'all listening to this, y'all let me know what y'all think. Or if y'all ran across this and you have an opinion on it, don't hesitate. If you're listening to this via YouTube, leave me a comment in the box below. Everywhere else, you can comment there. Follow me on social media. Let me know what you think about this, because it's crazy, and it's happening more often. It's like the level of power made people afraid that they would lose their careers if they didn't comply with the demands. Okay, that seems to be something that does happen in each case. A powerful person, everybody is afraid to lose their job or maybe even their life, and this is a family secret, so that can get very volatile. But somebody has to have the strength to stand up and say, hey, look, no, this is not going down like this. We can no longer do this. We got to break this curse right here. We're not doing this anymore. And go ahead and say, no, you need to stop. You need to quit. And the next you need to stop and quit is going to be, calling the authorities. Hey, look, this is what I know. Now, as of right now, there's still allegations. But it goes back decades. Now, in 1999, a Japanese magazine published accounts of other young men and boys who claimed they were sexually abused by Kitagawa. He sued the magazine and was awarded damages. Now, that was according to their local media. And he was never charged over the allegations. He had reportedly denied all accusations when he was alive. But that's the way they're gonna do. People like that are gonna take it to the grave. They're not saying shit. They're not gonna incriminate themselves. That's why somebody has to be smart, use morals, because sometimes money is not worth it. The rest of ruining some young boy's life, that's not okay. That's very unacceptable. And it must, and eventually it will have to change. But he, like all the others who have allegations against him, if it turns out to be that they are in fact true, they should be held accountable for what they did, and those are currently still doing. But seriously, that's gotta stop. The head of Japan's top pop agency resigns after admitting late founder, who is her uncle, sexually abused minors for decades. Where's the accountability? That's your news for today. You have been listening to Toni On One Podcast, brought to you by On One Radio, the talk show podcast station. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my talk show. I wish you the best, and don't allow anyone to fuck up your vibes. I've been your host, Toni Williams. On One radio station listeners are awesome. Because of this, your voice is very important. Listeners are encouraged and welcome to call in live during a show or leave a message with your thoughts and opinions, whether it's the Sound Meditation Podcast, the Toni On One Podcast, the Sister Talk Podcast with Sister Such and Such, the Underground Podcast about music, or Inspire Our Podcast. We're trying to inspire the world. That's On One Radio. So listeners' voice is very important. So give us a call at 318-315-3586. Again, 318-315-3586. And voice your opinion. Hi guys, this is Toni On One. And I am here to tell you a little bit about my radio station. All shows are by On One Radio, the talk show podcast station. Shows are available anytime for download, play on demand, and they're on most of your podcast sites and or apps. Subscribe and hit the notification bell on YouTube. The name over there is Toni On One, as well as like, follow, and share on social media. We're on one. So tune in for raw, uncut talk.